NASA's Voyager 1 just did something no one expected, and it's blowing everyone's minds. After 47 years of faithfully exploring space, this tiny spacecraft suddenly started transmitting bizarre messages from beyond our solar system.
Million times less
It's
memory
sending
than
strange
contemporary
structured
cell
signals that
phones,
scientists
transmit
can't
data
explain,
at a rate
leaving
which is
everyone
about
wondering, is it just a glitch from its ancient hardware, or has it found something out there in the vast darkness of interstellar space? The little spacecraft that wouldn't quit. Nobody thought Voyager 1 would last this long.
What if this wasn't random?
Not the engineers who built it, not the scientists who planned the mission, not even NASA who launched it. Back in 1977,
the magnetic field of the sun is carried into space together with the solar wind.
Voyager was only
The
supposed to work
heliosphere's
for about
expansion
5
is
years.
eventually restrained by
Racking their brains in search of an answer to this puzzle that nature has landed on their laps.
Fade into history books.
Scientists were in a
That was
fix,
it.
and the blame could be
But
traced to
Voyager 1
only one
apparently
guilty
never got
party.
that memo.
It's from mission control.
This refrigerator
How do we explain these unusual readings, even though the spacecraft was responding normally?
For almost half a
The
century.
only hiccup in this story
It's so
is that there
incredibly
was
far away that sunlight takes over 22 hours just to reach it.
It was never meant to drift
And
so
when we send
far
a message,
into the
we have to wait
uncharted
almost 2
darkness of
full days to
interstellar
get a
space,
response.
where the light of our
It's
sun
basically like
38,000
throwing a
times
paper
slower
airplane
than a
across the
5G
ocean and having it
internet
not only
connection,
make it there,
and
but
each one
continue
has
flying
an
for decades
8-track
while
tape
somehow
recorder
sending
for
back
data
photos.
storage.
And
The
just when
Voyagers
everyone
are
thought this tough
rethinking of the
little
nature of
explorer
the
was finally
interstellar
running
medium
out of steam,
and the
Voyager
underlying
1
laws that
started
govern
sending
space
something
itself.
completely
Before we
unexpected.
start, smash the like
Endless
and
streams of
subscribe
zeros
buttons
and
for
ones
more
that don't
updates.
match
Where
anything in
dark
its
matter
programming.
or exotic energy
engineers
fields
are scratching
created
their
effects we
heads.
couldn't yet comprehend.
The scientists are super
worse.
interested and everyone else
What
is
if it had
fascinated by
encountered
what might
something
be the last
that
message from
Interstellar
humanity's
matter
most
pressure,
distant creation.
forming a boundary with
A journey
interstellar
nobody could have
space
imagined.
that is preceded by a
To
massive
really
shock
understand
front
why this
known
strange
as
signal matters so
Voyager
much,
1.
we need to appreciate just how incredibly far
Ironically,
Voyager 1
scientists
has traveled.
also knew that the
If you could
solution to
somehow drive
unraveling
your
this
car into
mystery
space at
also
highway
rested
speeds,
on the
it
heavy
would take you
shoulder
about
slight delay in
20,000 years to
communication
reach where
overall.
Voyager is right now.
Scientists found it puzzling
That's
that
not
the
just
Voyager
far from
craft's
Earth.
antenna remained pointed to
It's
the Earth,
completely outside
ensuring
our
that it
solar
continued
system.
to receive and execute
Voyager
Sun
1
is
visited
little
Jupiter
more
with its
than a
giant
faint
storms
whisper.
and dozens of moons.
Yet,
It
there
flew
it
past
remains,
Saturn with those amazing
a
rings we all
solitary
know from
ambassador
pictures.
of Earth.
It took the
carrying
first
are
clear,
still
detailed
at the
images of
forefront
these distant
of space
planets,
exploration
transforming
in
what used to
spite
be
of this.
tiny, blurry
The
dots
event
in telescopes
unfolded
into
gradually,
real worlds
then
with weather
suddenly,
patterns and
as
landscapes.
Voyager 1 continued
Pretty
its
much
silent
every planet
trajectory
picture
through
in
the
your school
cosmic
science
void,
books
its
came from
instruments
this mission.
began to pick up an
Then
anomaly.
Voyager
a
did something no
phenomenon at
human-made
all,
object had
but a
ever done
presence.
before.
As the
In
data
2012,
continued
it crossed
to
what
stream
scientists
in,
call the
patterns
heliport,
grew
basically the
more
boundary
pronounced.
where our sun's bubble of
secret
influence
And
ends and
estimates
true
of
deep
its
space
distance
begins.
before the Voyager
It entered
missions
the space between
fluctuated
stars filled
significantly.
with
of the
cosmic
space probe.
radiation, weird
Initially,
particle fields,
when news
and
of this
material
discovery
left
broke
over from
out,
ancient
some
exploded
scientists
stars.
considered the possibility
Since then,
that it
it's
could have been
our
a
only
mistake.
physical presence in
They thought
interstellar
that the
space,
instructions
our only
effectively,
explorer in
in
this
the eyes of
completely unknown
scientists,
territory.
this event was turning
And the
out to
whole
be a
time it's
miracle,
been phoning home,
one that
sending
caused
back
them to be
data about
soaked in
what
the
it
river
finds
of
using
worries.
a radio transmitter
They're
as
happy.
powerful as your
dreams
refrigerator
and
light bulb.
curiosities of a species
Until
that
recently,
dared to
those
reach
signals
for the
were perfectly
stars.
normal.
And now,
Now they've suddenly
in an
changed
event
into
that
something
defies
nobody expected.
explanation.
Let's
Built in
find
a
out.
totally different time. To really appreciate why
Two of the
Voyager's
most
strange
amazing
final message
spacecraft
is so
ever launched
mind-blowing,
would never
we
have
need to
taken
remember
flight
just
if
how
the
old school
stars
this
hadn't-
That
spacecraft
couldn't be
actually is.
explained by conventional
Voyager
models.
1 was built
The
in the
spacecraft,
1970s
though
when
battered by
computers filled
age and
entire
distance,
rooms.
still operates several
Digital
key
watches were considered
instruments,
high-tech and
including its
nobody had
plasma
even dreamed of the internet.
showed geometric
Voyager's main
ratios,
computer has just
symmetrical
69
intervals,
kilobits of
and
memory.
harmonic feedback.
Not gigabytes,
Hallmarks
not even
of deliberate
megabytes,
design.
kilobytes.
Independently,
Your average
Age of
email with a
Voyager
photo
1 may be
attached is
catching up
literally
with it,
bigger than
and
Voyager's
hence,
entire
it
computing
may be
system.
transmitting wrong data back
Your
to us.
smartphone is
Had to be a
millions of times
scientific
more powerful than
explanation
this
for this
spacecraft.
anomaly.
The code
They
running
repeatedly
Voyager was
pondered how
written
the
on punch
spacecraft
cards
could
and
be
magnetic
functionally
tape by
normal,
engineers
yet be
using
sending
slide
back
rules and
mysterious
basic
data to
calculators.
something
But
impossible
despite
has
being
happened.
so primitive by today's standards,
spacecraft
the engineers
thought
built this thing to
to be
last.
nearing the
They
end of its
included triple
life,
backup systems
has
for
encountered
important
something
Lined
components.
up. In this
used
instance, the four
materials that could
largest
handle
planets in
decades of
our solar
radiation
system
exposure.
were the stars.
They planned
As
for
a
all
result
kinds
of
of
this
problems with
coincidence,
backup
a
systems and
spacecraft
clever
may gain
solutions.
wave system,
Even the power
magnetometer,
source is
and
genius.
cosmic ray subsystem.
Voyager
These
runs on
devices,
what's basically a
designed to
nuclear
interpret
battery
and
powered
measure
by heat
changes
from
in
decaying
plasma density,
plutonium.
magnetic fields, and
Solar
high
panels
energy.
would be
researchers
useless
around
so
the
far
world
from the sun.
began to weigh in.
So, this steady power
analyzing
source
the
has kept the
publicly available
spacecraft
data.
going for decades,
Some
though it gets a
proposed
little weaker each
radical
year.
theories.
It's like sending a Model T
Gurney's
Ford across the
calculations
country
from
and having it not only
1993
finish the trip,
put the
but
distance
keep driving
at
for
around
decades
25
afterward.
times further,
The
between
brilliance behind Voyager's
116
long
and
life makes its current weird
177.
behavior
Seems like a
even
plausible
more puzzling.
explanation, given the
How
fact
could
that
something
Voyager
this
1
simple,
was
this
launched as far back as
suddenly start sending
1977.
completely unexpected messages?
That's almost 5 decades of
The wall
active
of
service
fire.
on behalf of Earth.
Voyager's journey took it across a
The
boundary
story just
more
wasn't adding
important
up.
than any border on
Scientists
Earth.
were more bewildered
In
when they
2012,
noticed that the
the
anomaly
spacecraft
hadn't
entered
triggered any
interstellar
fault
space when it
protection
passed through what
systems.
scientists call the helipause, though some
silent
poetically
void.
call it the wall of
Something that
fire.
has shaken the
This
foundations
invisible
of
line
science
marks where our sun's
and
solar
sparked a
wind,
question
the constant
no
stream of
one was
particles
prepared
flowing
to
out
ask.
from our
Speed from the
star,
gravitational
finally
pull
gives
of
way to the
each large
particles
planet
and
it
radiation
passed,
that fill the
as
space
if being
between
pulled
stars.
along by an invisible rope
It's
that
basically
suddenly
where
broke,
our solar
sending
system
the
ends
probe
and true
flying
deep
on
space
its course.
begins.
Energy particles,
Near this
respectively,
boundary,
began to
temperatures
relay
can hit
data
over
that simply
50,000
did
degrees
not
Celsius
fit
in
known
some
parameters.
spots, though the
signals
particles
were
are so
distorted,
spread out
but
that
not in a
Voyager
way
wasn't
attributed
damaged.
to random background.
Probe
Still,
might have
everything
entered a
changed when
field
Voyager
of
crossed this
dark
line.
matter interaction,
The
where
magnetic
invisible
field readings
particles
completely
altered its
shifted.
trajectory.
The cosmic ray
Others
level shot up
suggested
and the
it
spacecraft
had brushed
became
an
the first
astronomical
human-made
unit.
object to touch the vast
1
emptiness between
AU, or
stars.
93 million miles,
Beyond this barrier
is the
is space
distance
that isn't
between
protected
the
by
Earth
our
and the
sun's
Sun.
bubble.
Gurney's projections from
Wild
19...
space
Humanity.
filled with high
One can only
energy particles that
expect
have been
that the
traveling between
spacecraft's
stars for
computers
maybe
would have grown
millions of
weary
years.
and start to malfunction,
It's totally different
shrinking
from
in their
anything inside our
responsibilities
solar system.
and sending back.
And
This was
Voyager 1 has
seriously
been floating
surprising
through this alien
because these
environment for
onboard
over a
systems are
decade
designed
now,
to
measuring
activate
and recording
when
whatever
anomalies
it
are
finds.
detected. These
Some
systems are meant
scientists
to
think
usher
this
the craft
environment
into a
might explain Voyager's
Has
weird
humanity's
behavior.
farthest traveler
Could being in
stumbled
interstellar
upon a
space for
presence
so
that is
long have
watching
messed with
us?
its systems?
The story
Did it run into
begins
some
in an
unknown
era
field or phenomenon that
humanity's
changed its programming?
One drawback, though,
Or is it
the
just a
alignment only
coincidence,
took
a
place
natural
once
breakdown of a
every
machine working way beyond its expected
176
lifespan in
years?
one of the harshest
A spaceship
environments
would need to
possible?
be launched by...
The
Noise
signal
or
that
aging
shouldn't be
equipment.
possible.
Instead, they exhibited
first
a
sign
consistent
something was off
pattern,
came in
an
late
unnatural
2023.
repeating structure that suggested
Engineers
an
at
encounter with
NASA's
something
Jet
external,
Propulsion Laboratory,
something deliberate,
who've been watching
perhaps
Voyager's
a
signals for
space-time
decades, noticed
distortion.
something weird.
A ripple
The
caused
telemetry
by
data, the
unseen
info about the
cosmic
spacecraft's
event.
health and status,
But one
suddenly
hypothesis
stopped making any
sent
sense.
shockwaves.
93 were
Usually,
accurate.
Voyager sends back neat
Before
packages
one of the
of data in a
Voyagers
specific
ultimately
format
reached
that
the
tells engineers
heliopause,
about its
about 20
temperature,
years
power
had
levels,
elapsed.
poor quality
instrument
information
readings,
to the
and
ground
more.
team.
But
As
out of
alluring
nowhere,
as this narrative
those organized
sounds,
packets were
scientists have
replaced by
advised that we
streams of
shouldn't
binary
tread
code,
there
endless
because it would be a
sequences of
slap on the
zeros and ones
selfless
that didn't
spirit of
match
safe
any
mode
pattern Voyager
that
should
allows
be able to
engineers
make.
to investigate and
At
diagnose
first,
the
they
issue.
figured it was just a glitch.
A different story
Maybe
played
a
out
cosmic
during this
ray had flipped a
mysterious
bit in the
event
computer's
as the
memory,
fault
or the old
protection
electronics
on
were
the
just
cusp
hiccuping.
Of cosmic
That kind of thing had
exploration.
happened before,
In the
but when
late
they tried to fix it
1970s,
with the usual software
scientists
patches and
seized
reset
a
commands,
rare
nothing
opportunity.
worked.
A planetary
The
Each command took over
mid-1970s
22
in order
hours
to
to
reach the
reach Voyager
planets
and
while the
another
lineup
22
was
hours
still
for
in
the
effect.
response to
even
come back.
structured. It began with a
Day
shift in
after
the
day,
magnetic
the
field around
engineers
the
tried different
spacecraft,
fixes,
one so
but the
abrupt
strange
and
binary
localized
stream
that
just
it ruled
kept
out
coming.
natural variations in
When
the
they looked
interstellar
deeper,
magnetic
they thought
field.
maybe the
through the
telemetry
community.
modulation unit
A
had
group of
failed.
researchers using
That's the
advanced
critical
pattern
part that
recognition
formats data
software
before sending
found
it.
that the probe's
If that
altered
unit had
signals
broken, it would
bore
explain why
similarity
Voyager
An
was now sending
80-fold
gibberish.
increase.
But something
there
didn't
had
add
been
up.
The Voyager.
If the system had
Despite
simply
the harshness
broken, they should
and
be getting
unpredictable
random
environment
noise.
of space,
Instead,
Voyager 1
they were
has
receiving
consistently
something
churned out
while making
eye-opening
no
data
sense,
about our
showed clear
cosmos,
signs
and
of
systems
structure,
stayed put,
repetitions,
and Voyager
patterns
1
that shouldn't
continued
show
its
up in truly
operations
random
without
data.
entering safe mode.
For a spacecraft
At some
running
point,
on 1970s tech with
scientists
less
and
computing
engineers
power than a
had to
digital
pinch
watch,
the
this
alignment
behavior
that
wasn't just
occurs
strange,
only once
it was
every
impossible.
176
Either Voyager
years.
had somehow reprogrammed
Two
itself or
spacecraft
something
were
else was
launched
influencing
to take
what it was
advantage
sending
of
back
this
to Earth.
celestial event.
In 50